If you're applying to medicine or dentistry this year, here are 6 things that I wish someone told me before I went through the whole application process. Because some of these things cost me interviews, and some of them also made me want to give up on the whole process. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, first off, work experience is about reflection, not the hours. Everyone thinks that stacking as much clinical practice hours as possible is the best way to go about your work experience, when honestly it's not. I remember when I was applying, they didn't even check, they didn't even confirm whether you had actually done work experience. If you didn't link a lot of those questions in the interviews to your work experience, then you would have missed out compared to other applicants. In the interviews, and dental schools and medical schools, they don't care about how many hours you did at your work experience. Honestly, they don't even care if you did work experience because they never check. They've never checked. The only thing they care about is what you've learnt from the work experience. What experience did you go through in the work experience that made you see the profession differently or get a better understanding of the profession? So instead of chasing hours like I did, I'm pretty sure I did a whole week in a hospital in which I was in the hospital from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Instead of that, I wish I could have just tuned down on the hours and just written down to myself every day, like in my car, what I learned from that day. And I wish I wrote down like one specific thing I noticed, like a technical conversation or a emotional conversation or a colleague interaction between a nurse and a doctor and how they work together in a stressful, time pressured environment, something like that, not just logging in the hours. Now, point 3 is going to be the discipline bridge you build. So for me, it's going to the gym. The discipline I build by training on days that I don't want to results in me relaying it into my studying. And when I don't want to study, I still end up just locking down and studying. And this discipline bridge is gapped solely due to the gym. So I recommend some sort of physical activity or just any sort of hobby. I also have my piano here. That's another option for you guys. Just anything that you can do consistently throughout the week that you end up showing up for. It's actually way too hot to be wearing a hoodie right now. So as you can see, guys, just finished my leg day. I'm on the way back now. You guys also saw I did cardio as well with low impact phases, some boring ass cardio, but I still did it. With working out, you don't want to be doing whatever's easy. You don't just work out on the days that you feel like it, even when you don't feel like it. I used to basically not train legs. I think I only started a few months ago, but recently I've been doing it 2 to 3 times a week. So even if you don't want to do it, you have to do it. The most important days that you're training are the ones where you don't want to train, because on those days specifically, that's when your discipline is going to be built up. Apologies if I'm out of breath, it's because of my damn cardio. But yeah, gotta get some groceries now. Now, point 2 is to start UCAT prep earlier than you think. So a lot of people like to start in the summer, which is about like 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks before that UCAT. That's like the sweet spot that all the study TikTokers will tell you to. But in my opinion, you can start the year before. And people are going to look at you crazy like, what, the year before? I'm not telling you guys to do like 2-hour mocks and then go into 3-hour like subtests or whatever like a year before. Simply build on the skills, do some mental math training, do some speed reading, verbal reasoning techniques, and just practice the skills you need, and maybe get a few understandings of what the questions actually are, not necessarily doing vigorous practice every day. Just do some on-timed practice maybe once every few days. The reason why is because the UCAT really isn't an IQ test. It's simply like skills that you can learn. And if you start early, you'll see this crazy compound effect. And in this crazy compound effect, you'll see exponential growth. You'll go from down here, all the way up to there, essentially, when you come up to your actual UCAT exam. And that's how you get like a top decile score. So treat your UCAT prep like you're training for a sport rather than an exam. Now, the next point is about personal statement. People working for the admissions office at universities will see your personal statement and they'll see if it's the same as everyone else's or not, like right away. They'll be able to spot templates right away. They read 400 or 500 personal statements a day. So what makes you think that yours is going to be any different to theirs if you all use the same template you got off some admissions course that your mum paid £600 for. With your personal statement, you want to be very, very specific on it. You also want to relate to your work experience, but you want to give a unique experience that you've had that makes you realize why you want to do your specific course. If you're doing medicine, not dentistry, not nursing, medicine. Dentistry, if it's like you specific to dentistry. So on my dentistry personal statement, I remember I wrote that when I was in year 8, I volunteered teaching school guards in Pakistan. Because I lived in Pakistan for 2 years, I said I volunteered there. I taught them English in an each one teach one program, and in that I realized how bad their teeth were and how it was causing them pain physically, and how it would break down their own self-confidence due to the lack of aesthetic appeal. And I mentioned that this made me realize how much socio-demographic factors play a role into dentistry, and it's why I'm very interested in dentistry, and I just wrote that down in my personal statement. Now, don't copy my exact example, because it's going to be bait. If everyone does it, it's going to be very bait. But you need some sort of example like that. If you volunteered in a charity shop, you can write something similar. Just go out, get these experiences, and put something unique down on that personal statement, and you will genuinely see crazy results from it. With the personal statement, I want you guys to think of it as ingredients to a recipe. Anyone can take the ingredients. Any dum-dum can take the ingredients, but only a true master chef can put it together to make something delicious. Hold on. Isn't that kind of like baking? It's exactly like baking. My bad for the cringe transition, guys. Today, we're baking actually a Basque San Sebastian cheesecake. I think that's what they call it. I've seen a lot of them in Manchester, and the ingredients seem pretty healthy and chill. What I'm going to be doing today, I'll show you guys. Got the setup here, and we're going to be making this cheesecake. This is my first time making it, so hopefully we don't burn the house down. I'll let you guys know how it tastes once it's done. Okay, I forgot that you're meant to add the eggs one by one and then either whisk or blend. I hope this doesn't make that much of a difference. I made like a huge mess, so it's time to clean that up and do the dishes. I actually hate dishes, bro. The fifth thing I wish I knew before I applied was that grades aren't the differentiator. They're simply just a minimum filtering system before you apply. I put so much effort into getting these high grades and being the highest in my class. I put so much time into just trying to get full marks in maths and beat the kids who did further maths. But it just wasn't a good investment of my time, because once you're in that interview, the only thing that matters is your interview score and your UCAT score. Like, you can take a student who has 3 A stars predicted and a student who has 3 A's predicted. If they both got the interview, the one with 3 A's predicted got 1 more mark on the interview than the other person, then they're going to pick that one with the 1 more mark on the interview for the admission. And this is something I really wish I realized earlier, because I spent way too much time and effort just trying to be the best in every subject, which may have been like fun and all, but I would have had a lot more better, like I would have been better off just spending my time on more interview prep and more UCAT practice. One thing I also wish I already knew was to treat rejection as a point of development and a piece of data rather than as a verdict. What I used to do is see any rejection, anything I messed up in, as complete failure, and it was like just a verdict on my abilities. In reality, that's not true. You want to make sure that you treat every single failure, every single rejection as a point to improve on, since it's a natural part of life. I wish I was able to do this more earlier on in my mock interviews, because if I dropped my ego and simply tried to improve from my failures, then I wouldn't have missed out on a few of my offers. Alright guys, we're taking a small walking break now whilst we're on the run. The reason why, my heart feels like it's about to jump out of my chest, bro. This running for me. The reason why I'm showing you this clip is because with failure comes improvement. I don't think I can run over 1 kilometer right now, but I guarantee you guys, within a few videos, I will be easily doing that. Right now I can't, right now I need to stop after 1 kilometer, which is not a good situation. But at the end of the day, being afraid of failure means that you never improve. If I just didn't go out for this run like I usually would, then it's just not going to happen. I remember when I had my DFE, my physical activity that I put down was that I would run 2 kilometers once a week. And I couldn't even do that, so I didn't get my DFE bronze certification. So basically, and that was only because I was scared of failure. I was scared of not even being able to run those 2 kilometers. So never be scared of failure. And let's get this run done with, bro. It's quite late now. I'm done for my run. I've showered. I've also done a little bit of extra work for the end of the day. And yeah, it's really hot right now in the UK. I honestly don't know how I'm going to fall asleep. That's why I'm wearing no shirt right now. Even downstairs it's hot. Upstairs it's going to be horrible in my room with my PC and everything on. So if you're going to take one thing away from this video, take away the fact that the process of applying to med school is going to be a lot harder than you expect, but it's going to be a lot easier than you fear. All you guys need to do is show up every day, and that's honestly the base. That's the framework of getting your admission. You need to have that mentality, you need to have the belief system, and you need to show up every day, and then that's the core of it. If you guys like this video and want to see more, please like, comment, thumbs up, and let me know what videos you guys want to see. Also, please subscribe. I forgot that one. Please subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.